Nice little flex. You know why? Because I am playing Jacked Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. is massive. He's huge. A lot of people commented on my original Jacked and Stacked meta video saying that, oh, why didn't you play Garlic Jr.? Garlic Jr. is larger than everyone on this team that you're playing. And it's just like, oh, yeah, right. Because Garlic Jr. is massive. Oh my gosh. But unfortunately, I did not enjoy playing Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. He was just too boring for me. The way his character is designed it's not for my playstyle. I did not enjoy playing him. So sorry if I'm a little low energy throughout the video. It was not for me. But yeah, I'm not gonna fake my energy towards a character. I'm not gonna be like, oh, like Junior is meta. Garlic Junior is the best. No, if I didn't enjoy playing him, it's gonna show. It's gonna show, and maybe you guys enjoy playing him. Don't take it personally because I disagree with you guys. It's just an opinion. If you enjoy playing him, then comment the text that you know, and maybe I'll pin it, or everyone else could see how much stronger Garlic Jr. is than what I showcased. Just don't insult me over a game. Some people have insulted me over the videos that I make, like the character spotlights. Like, damn, relax, man. It's just a game. But I have so many more character spotlight videos coming. A lot of people have been asking for Dragon Ball Super Vegeta, so he is coming soon. I also have Dragon Ball Super Broly coming soon. Some people are getting impatient. There's only so many spotlights I could release in a day, so I will be trying my best to get through the whole cast, and I will be trying my best to prioritize whoever is being asked for the most, requested the most, but please be patient. But hey, if you keep asking for someone, it's just good for me. It's engagement for me. I'm engagement farming, whatever. But if you keep asking for him, the positive is that, hey, if I see it all the time, I'm going to do it. Like, there's this guy who keeps asking for Ribrianne. I recorded a Ribrianne video. Someone's asking for Kakunsa all the time. I'm going to do Kakunsa soon. It's just that I can't release, I have so many videos in the vault, so it will come, right? If you keep asking for it, it will come sooner than later. But sorry if it comes like maybe 2 weeks later than you ask, because I just have so many videos cooking. Anyway, if you guys learned something, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Have a good day, you guys. Alright, so as you can see, I am spotlighting the real jacked, stacked, juicy, and succulent Garlic Jr. He is so tall that my face cam is blocking his face. Jesus. This guy must be like 8 feet tall. Look at the veins on his chest. What the hell is this guy taking? He's definitely on Tren. If you guys don't know what Tren is, just Google it. Trust me, it's great. Just kidding. Stay away from steroids, kids. Anyway, let's check out how jacked Garlic Jr. is. Oh my god, he mogs Jiren. Look how Jiren has to look up to him. Oh my gosh. Alright, you guys know the rules. If you watch this series, you know. The first thing we check out is what they spawn in with. He has 0 skill points, 3 key bars, and 3 health bars. Why is this important? Right? Because the average character starts with 2 key bars, 3 health bars, 0 skill points. If you're going against the average character, the fact that you have 3 key bars at start, at spawn-in, puts you at an advantage. Let's say you guys get into an engagement, and one of you guys get in a super counter off and get into a Vanish War. Garlic Jr. has more ki than the average character at round start, and you will probably win the first engagement and gain momentum. Unless your opponent is smart and starting with someone who starts with even more ki than 3 key bars, or starts with 3 key bars, or uses a character that has 3 key bars as well, then that's a tie. So it's important to know which character to put at the front so you have a starting advantage. So Garlic Jr. is one of those characters who are good to put at the front to have a starting advantage, and it's good to build up his skill points as soon as possible. I'll explain why later. But in the meantime, let's check out his rush chains. So XY, gut punch, I like that. Rolling hammer, oh, gut punch rolling hammer, that's a really good pattern. Another rolling hammer on the third one. Ki on the fourth. Okay, so his he has a decent combo pattern, decent rush chain. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's check out Garlic Jr.'s step and move. Rolling hammer, not bad. As you guys know, I prefer a gut punch because gut punch you could set up a lot of things. Rolling hammer is good so you can take his back. Let's check out his perception. Gut punch. You guys know I love a gut punch perception. Let's check out his ki blasts. They're a little awkward, I would say. You can see how there's like a odd stutter in them, like how I speak. I have a stutter when I speak sometimes. But there is an odd stutter. This could be good and bad. It could throw you off or the opponent off, but I bet if you get used to it, you probably use it to your advantage. He has this Ki Blast, the slow Ki Blast, right? The slow charged Ki Blast, which isn't the best at range. Well, let's check out if there's any differences when you move around. Yes, there are differences when you move around. Oh, yeah. He's one of those archetypes. So he has a slow moving Ki Blast when you stand still. When you move around, it moves a little quicker. And when you dash, it moves very quickly. So you just gotta keep that in mind. Again, when you stand still, it moves slowly. When you move around, it moves medium. When you dash, it moves quickly. Now, with these archetype of charged Ki Blast, I bet you can't throw two of the same type at the same time. Yeah, you can. You can see my inputs. Yeah, so you gotta, if you want to throw a charged Ki Blast out, you gotta wait for it to hit him. So you gotta, if you want to throw multiple charged Ki Blasts, you gotta do the different types of Ki Blasts. Now, this could be good and bad because there are certain situations where the slow Ki Blast, the slow charged Ki Blast could be good. But the reason why it could be bad is because it consumes a lot of Ki to have to dash and do this just to set up a Z-burst dash from distance. So yeah, that could be quite Ki consuming. But let's say if you do manage to get his back, right? What you could do if you get someone's back is this. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Let's try again. Because Jiren had no health. Let's say you get someone's back. Let's try again. Oops, not like that. You want to get their back first, and then gut punch them, and then set it up. Jeez, Garlic Jr. is so tall that Ki Blast just went over his head. Okay, let's get in the sky, because sometimes the ground fighting is odd sometimes. Yeah, you could do this. Look at this. If you have a lot of Ki, you could do that. It'll be a true combo. And they have to eat it so long as you have the Ki to keep doing it. Well, I do think they'll get knocked down at one point. After like maybe 10 hits or 20 hits, I forget how much. Let's find out. Yeah, you could do this with the people who have a slow moving Ki Blast. So he is okay at range. He is at a loss with having to spend extra resources just to throw out a charged Ki Blast from range. So that sucks. But at close range, this Ki Blast isn't the worst. It has its utility, especially if you know how to set up the Ki Blast combo. This thing. The reason why this is so strong is that they can't super counter this. So yeah, you do need a lot of Ki to be able to pull off the whole combo string. Let's check out his Ki charging, because that's one thing I have not been checking out on these character spotlights, and found out in the last video that everyone has different Ki charging rates and Ki consumption. So if he dashes around 1, 2, 3, 4, he has average Ki consumption for his dashing. These bigger, more jacked characters usually could only dash around 2 times with 1 Ki bar, and then maybe a 3rd time if you wait a little bit for the Ki regen. So Garlic Jr. being this jacked and this mobile, it's kind of good. I'm very surprised. Someone this jacked should not have this great of cardio and mobility. His Ki charging rate is quite average though, and if he had really fast Ki charging rate and you could just abuse the Ki Blast spam, that would be crazy. But I guess they didn't want to do that. That would be a little too much. All right, so now let's look at his skills. He has a paralysis beam. Not my favorite. It has its utility. I'll talk about it later. It's just personally not my favorite. That doesn't mean that it's not good. You guys could find a lot of utility in it. It's for my playstyle. It's not for me. But he also has Machio Star. Oh, the paralysis beam costs 2 skill points, so that's not too bad. And Machio Star is interesting, right? It's a live start buff, and it also heals. So look at my health bar. It gives me like maybe a 1/3 of a health bar, maybe a little more. It looks like a 1/3 of a health bar. It isn't the most, but it also gives a pretty good defensive buff. I'm not sure if it gives me super armor. Let's find out. Hit me. Oh, I have guard assist on, but I don't have super armor with that. So it's a decent buff, right? The fact that it heals as well, that's really good. You just have to set it up because it happens in live time, right? So, and the fact that it gives a armor buff, meaning that you'll take less damage. Technically, any health that you save is health gained. So not only do you gain health, but you could save health in case if you get attacked. But then that did not last that long. Let's see how long it lasted. For 15 seconds. That did not feel like 15 seconds. Okay, maybe it's because I'm yapping too much, but it also gives a key charging boost, so that's nice. Nice to gain key so you can spam your silly little key blasts. Garlic Jr. does do a decent amount of damage. I think the 4 DP characters are all rather underrated characters because 4 DP is like the perfect in between. They do enough damage to the point where they could really hurt the opponent's team. 3 DP characters tend not to be able to do that, but they could switch quickly. 4 DP characters, they could damage the team, and they have a good switch time. 5 DP characters, I think it takes them maybe 25 to 30 seconds to be able to switch. They cost a lot, and having that extra switch time could hurt you, and they don't do that much extra damage compared to 4 DP characters. So I think 4 DP characters are rather good. And Garlic Jr. is a 4 DP character. Now, whether or not you want to use him, it will be interesting because you could fit other 4 DP characters who could transform. The thing that's holding back Garlic Jr. is that he cannot transform to a stronger character that could break through super armor. But doesn't matter. You have 4 other members you could put on, and since 4 DP is not that much, you could put on another 4 DP. You could put on 2 other 4 DP characters who could transform. The only thing is that I think the only 2 characters that could transform to a 7 DP that could break through super armor are Teen Gohan and Adult Gohan. But yeah, if you have Garlic Jr. on your team, he's pretty decent. Just make sure that you have another character who could transform to a 7 DP character or greater than 7 DP. The thing with choosing a stronger 4 DP character, who can't transform is that you probably can't afford to put on a 5 DP character. I mean, you could, it'll just be the rest of your team will be really weak. And like I said, 5 DP characters could be really strong or really weak, but if you're going to choose 5 DP characters, choosing someone like Broly would probably be your best bet because he transforms to a 9 DP character, which is insane. Or choosing someone like the Dragon Ball Super Vegeta, Dragon Ball Super Goku, because they could transform to 8 DP characters, which is insane. So let me show you guys how you could set up a key charge, because Garlic Jr. does have strong potential with lots of ki, as I shown you guys earlier. You can just do this, gut punch, hit him with a paralysis beam, and then that paralyzes for like 4 seconds. You can charge a bunch of ki. I think it's 4 seconds. Let me find out. Three seconds, okay. I was playing Ribrianne and she has a paralysis beam too, and hers was 4 seconds, so I thought that was the case for most paralysis beams. But 3 seconds? Okay, you could charge like maybe a bar and a half of ki with that, you know, before he's able to get out and start attacking you again. If you have 5 skill points, you could set up a buff in his face. Yeah, but I don't think that's necessary. You could just do a gut punch. Yeah, because you also have to set up your beam. If you just throw out a raw beam like this, yes, you could catch him off guard, but then the startup time takes forever to the point where if you're playing against someone who's good or decent, they're gonna react to it. So I wouldn't throw out raw beams. That sounds so weird. I wouldn't throw out raw paralysis beams. I would make sure to set it up first at least. So you could do it with a gut punch. You could do it with a low sweep. Let's see if you could do it with a rolling hammer. Well, it's not a real player, and he definitely had time to dodge if he needed to. So gut punch, low sweep. If you know any other ways to, like a great way to set it up, comment it. It'll help other people. Like I keep saying in these spotlight videos, this is just what I know and what I see. I am not claiming to know everything about these characters I spotlight. It's just what I know, and a lot of times I do make mistakes. Like when I rewatch these videos, I'm like, oh wait, I said something wrong. So yeah, this is just to spotlight the character and show me playing him against higher ranked people. Okay, now let's check out Garlic Jr.'s supers. He has this like full power energy wave called Death Impact. It does look pretty nice. It costs 3 key bars though, does 6.5k damage. It comes out rather quickly, so if someone tries to do like set up a raw sparking across the stage, you can use it. It should reach them in time to punish them. And then he has a grab super that costs 4 key bars and is unguardable, unblockable.
It's over yet.
That's a badass super, honestly. But it does like 8.2k mainly because it bumped into this ledge, but 7.7k if he doesn't bump into anything. It's a badass looking super, but for 4 key bars doing 7.7k damage, not the best. I'd rather just freaking save up my key and win engagements that way. Now let's look at his ultimate.
This is the end of the line. My revenge is nigh. Dead zone. It will absorb everything.
That was pretty cool. 15k damage though? Rather average. That's an okay ultimate. He doesn't have instant spark though, so that kinda sucks. You won't be able to, you'll rarely be able to go into sparking mode without instant sparking, so yeah, that kinda sucks. Overall, Garlic Jr. is an okay character. He doesn't have much going for him. His key blasts are interesting. They're fun to use. You could loop them like I showed you earlier. You could do a true combo with them, but he is so big that sometimes it could freaking mess up. Yeah, you could do this to someone. You see how big Garlic Jr. is? So if you could get them in that loop, it's nice, but man, it will be frustrating if it misses because of how freaking huge Garlic Jr. is. This guy must be like 9 to 10 feet tall. It's insane. But yeah, overall, Garlic Jr. is a very average character. I would say he is kind of viable in DP. Not that much. He's not meta, not at all. He could be viable if you could keep getting his regeneration off and switching, and that just could like stall out your opponent, or if you could get a paralysis off and then like key charge and gain key advantage and win your engagements. Garlic Jr. starts out with 3 key bars, so you start with a head start. If you're able to maintain that key advantage the entire time, you could win all your engagements, and that's great. So Garlic Jr. does have potential. He is just overall, his defensive tools are not the best, right? So the defensive options in this game are really, really strong. You have super countering, you have perception, you have super perception, you have revenge countering. The reason why so many people are frustrated with this game is because the defensive options are really, really strong, and the offensive options, you don't need more offensive options. The built-in mechanics, the built-in combo system is so simple to the point where you really do not need any more than that. So having offensive tools in a character is not the best. That's why things like After Image Strike, Wild Sense, After Image, Explosive Wave, those are so strong because they are only adding to the strength of the already built-in defensive mechanics. So not having much defensive mechanics other than health regen is holding Garlic Jr. back by a lot, and his damage is nothing stellar. I mean, it's nice that he's like more of a grappler-esque character. He does have an untechable grab. I should have mentioned that. And that is something I should start featuring a lot more in my videos. He is a more grappler-esque character who doesn't consume a ton of ki, unlike Nappa, who could only dash twice with 1 key bar, whereas Garlic Jr. could dash 4 times. So that's one thing that's going for him, but everything else is rather average. And as a 4 DP character, there are other 4 DP characters who can't transform and are still better than him, such as Bardock. At least he has instant sparking a lot, and his instant sparking is a defensive tool. So he has 2 things built into 1 skill, and that's great. But yeah, Garlic Jr., he is slightly below viable. He could be viable with his health regen, and you could gain lots of key advantage with his paralysis, but those are things you have to set up, and needing to set up those things means you have to be offensive. And yeah, being offensive in this game can be risky, because if you get super countered, what defensive options do you have? The regular ones. If you don't have skills that could help you in case of like doing a risky setup, then you're screwed. But yeah, I think that's it. Very short spotlight on Garlic Jr. Not my favorite character, not the best character, but if you learn something, like and subscribe. Enjoy the commentary I'm about to do on Garlic Jr. I did not really like him that much, but if you like him and you know more tech than I do, comment it. That'll help everyone else. Have a good day, you guys. Alright, so here I am commentating over some gameplay I had with Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. is probably the biggest non-giant in the cast. Look, he's so large that my face cam is covering him, or a good amount of him. I don't know why my camera just went out of focus there. Going against the A1 rank. Look how badly he mogs Vegeta, it's insane. I start out aggressively because I do have lots of ki to spend. Yeah, if you're gonna do that lift strike combo I just did earlier, it's probably best if you don't do a gut punch to follow up if you're in front of him. Doing the gut punch when you're behind him is the best, but if you do a gut punch when you're in front of him, it's very easy to block. But I think I said in the spotlight, I don't really like Garlic Jr. a lot, so it's really going to show in these gameplays. I switch him out a lot. He's just not my favorite. But I try my best to switch him back in because I know this is a spotlight video. I mean, in all my spotlight videos, I do that. But yeah, Garlic Jr. is just, I don't know, I didn't like him too much. Man, I haven't played, dude, since I started doing these spotlight videos, I've been having a lot of fun playing like different characters, but I feel like I haven't played my main team in so long, and I feel rusty without having not played my main team in so long. Well, it actually hasn't been that long, it's been like a week. This guy has Dragon Ball Super Vegeta and Dragon Ball Super Goku. He could fuse, but unfortunately, the fusing in this game is bad. They should really buff fusing. Because I've played against people who, like, they fused and then they lost the game because of it, because you lose character advantage. And character advantage is like a win condition in this game mode. That's why having 5 characters is so important. If you're gonna use less characters, like a 4-character team or a 3-character team, you have to choose characters that could transform to like really strong characters and are able to finish characters off. Like if you use Broly, Broly is able to finish characters off easy. But yeah, like I was saying, I think they should buff fusions. Like give them more than just like 4 health bars. Give them a lot of health. That way character advantage doesn't matter. And maybe make it harder for them to fuse if you're gonna give them that massive buff. Maybe they need a minimum amount of ki to be able to fuse. Yeah, I'm trying to set up the paralysis beam to charge in his face and gain some ki. So here I am actually showing off some tech. Usually I show off the tech in the spotlight and then I don't really do it in the gameplay video because it's just not my playstyle. But there, I finally did one. Yep, knock him back, gain some health with the buff. If you use that health regen buff, I think maybe you should just switch right away. That way you could gain even more health. And then just like abuse the HP mechanic. That's probably Garlic Jr.'s biggest strength, is that he has a health regen, which the health regen is kind of bad. 1/3 of a health bar, that's not great. But I think I keep Garlic Jr. in because I know I'm trying to make a spotlight video with him, so I do my best to keep him in. But he has forced my hand. I bring out the true jacked guy, the true jacked man, Mr. Nappa, Ghost Nappa. He should switch out his Roshi. His Roshi is in danger. He should switch him out. I think it's because he's scared. Okay, no, he doesn't switch. A lot of people don't think to switch when they're in close range engagements, which it's probably because of your settings. Like, I think some people have their settings in such a way where like they try to switch and then the emote panel shows up. Just switch those two and then it'll be easier. For some reason they made the default settings to make it emoting easier to input than switching is. So if you switch those two settings, you'll be golden. You could pull off switches really easily. Like if you watch my gameplay, I could switch easily. I switch in people's faces, like up close. Like it's not a problem for me. So I think he was having trouble there because I was in his face all the time and he couldn't get the switch panel up. Which I've noticed a lot of people, they emote on me before they switch, and I think, oh, are they disrespecting me? But they're just having trouble inputting the switch panel. Interesting Cybermen gameplay. He's not being greedy with his skill points. Usually a lot of people who play Cybermen, they'll be greedy for their skill points and they're saving up for after image. But this guy's taking advantage of super perception, and that's really strong against a player like me, who uses tons of heavy attacks. Oh, he wants to continue knocking me back. What I should have done there is do another revenge counter, because you could revenge counter because I had more skill points than him. I could have done another revenge counter to prevent him from knocking me back. Fun fact, Mr. Satan could switch in 5 seconds, and he comes out with a lot of ki. So what you could do, how you should use Mr. Satan is not use his ki, just dash around and try to stall out for 5 seconds and then switch out to another character. Mr. Satan should be like a stalling type of character who could switch in and out and be annoying and buy your team some time. Which is kind of like what he does in the anime anyways. So that's in character for him. Is that he comes in, does a bunch of shenanigans and then goes away. I think a lot of people make a mistake with playing with Mr. Satan, and then when they play with him, Mr. Satan is so easy to down since he doesn't have access to a super perception, so you could just keep spamming heavy moves on Mr. Satan and then down him easily, and then if you lose Mr. Satan, you lose character advantage. That's massive. That's terrible. You really do not want to lose Mr. Satan. Yeah, you can see the health regen was so bad there.
You'll regret you ever crossed me in your next life.
Alright, so I win match 1. He goes for the rematch, like a real one. Some people have said that I should show a variety of more matches. I will be doing that. It's just that this match was pre-recorded, so yeah. From here on out, well, not from here on out. When I'm done going through my old recordings, that's exactly what I'll do. Okay, I start out aggressively again. Hit him with the low sweep. Yep, you see how since I was in front of him, I didn't do the gut punch. Just do the normal combo if you guys are in front of each other, but if you have his back, do the gut punch, and then you could reset the combo from there and have access to your heavy attacks. Oh, by the way, Dragon Ball Super Vegeta Spotlight coming soon. I did like playing with Dragon Ball Super Vegeta. He's a decent character. The way this guy plays, he's smart. He's not being greedy with his skill points. He knows to use super perception against someone like me, especially someone like me. You build skill points so quickly in this game, there's no reason to be greedy with them. If there's an opportunity to use the super perception, use it. That's the downfall of so many Videl players, so many Master Roshi players, because they're greedy with their skill points, and that's how I downed them so quickly, because they're not super perceptioning my heavy attacks. But then if they if they do, then they can't do their after image strike cheese. So it's a give and take situation for them. But yeah, being greedy is a downfall of many players. And Cyberman is so small that my freaking low sweep just missed there. Another mistake this guy is making is that he's I'm assuming it's because of his settings, and his it's just too difficult to input for a switch up close. But you shouldn't be scared to switch up close. Yeah, and because he hasn't switched, I was able to down his Cybermen easily. And look at this, Garlic Jr. at full health because of the switch. My combo just dropped there for whatever reason. I'm guessing his combo dropped too. Fighting on the ground is just weird. He has massive key advantage on me. If he could get a super counter off here, he could win an engagement. What am I doing? What the hell was that? Oh, I was looking for key blast spam. That's why I was just freaking mashing the block button. It looked weird though. Yeah, if you're at an angle, like under a character who has explosive wave, it will knock you to the ground. And they could connect the super with that. I don't know what the hell that was. That was a really bad play by me. I should have used the paralysis beam and just charged. Or do something. But how am it's weird that I set up a paralysis beam to try to just do a gut punch. Yep, and I lose the engagement because of that. If I charged, I would have had more ki than him, but I didn't. Gorilla mindset is just, oh, ooga booga, I want to attack him. And now I have to switch because of that. I don't know if this what I'm gonna say is true, so take what I say with a grain of salt, because I don't really play characters with instant transmission. But I feel like if you do instant transmission up close, that's not that great because the person is on guard and he's expecting something. But if you do it from far away, that could catch them off guard when they're trying to like zone you out or something, and then you could just do instant transmission, dash upwards, and then like maybe charge for some ki or set something up. But doing a close range instant transmission, probably not the best. Yeah, this is the cheap, jacked, stacked, and juicy team. So much health, so much defense. The way to counter this team is you need to have someone who does a lot of damage. So using these like 5 DP, 4 DP characters, and not really using strong characters who have instant spark. Like if he transformed to like Super Saiyan God Vegeta, he could probably run through, well not run through, but damage me way more.
Here's something to remember me by. I am the Mr. Satan.
I have the skill points to set up my buff. I really should because it's Mr. Satan. Mr. Satan can't do anything. Okay, I use it there. This is what I mean. You gotta play defensively with Mr. Satan, because whenever you have a weak character out, that is an opportunity for the opponent to set stuff up, right? That's the downfall of like these really low DP characters, is that if you switch, like let's say you're going up against a Videl or a Master Roshi, they really don't do that much damage. If you have a character who could transform like Broly, you bring Broly back in, transform on these low DP characters, and now you got Broly started. So that's the downfall of these low DP characters, is that you could really set up transformations on them, and that will be really bad for the momentum, your opponent's momentum, and great for your own momentum. And that's why I always bring out Gohan and Videl, and people laugh at that. It's like, damn, why are you always bringing out Gohan and Videl? Because she's a low DP character. I know she's not going to do anything to me. So I just sit there and wait for my opportunity to transform. And the longer Videl is out, the longer I have for my switch gauge to fill up, and I'd be able to switch out SS2 Gohan, and then he'll be nice and healthy. So yeah, people complain about the low DP characters, but you could really take advantage of that, of the low DP characters. Buff Roshi is an exception. He is quite annoying. ends in another time up.
In your next life.
That's just how the games are. I know people are gonna be complaining, oh, it's so boring that it ends in a timeout. I was in a clear winning position. It's fine, okay? Which I don't disagree with you guys. I do agree that it would be more fun if they added more time or maybe nerfed some mechanics that way that the winning position is even more clear. But yeah, since I downed his Cyberman, that's when I won the game. Which is why I keep saying it's so important that you preserve your characters. Like the win condition, like no matter what they change in this game, right? Like no matter what mechanic they change, the win condition in DP battle, a team battle, is it's not the win condition, but one of the biggest win conditions is downing a character. So no matter what they change, preserving your character is always going to be a massive priority in this game mode. That's why when the game first came out, Yajirobe was a massive, issue, is because he had infinite preservation. But knowing what I know now, I could probably counter the original Yajirobe. But what made the original Yajirobe so crazy was because he started out with 2 skill points. And anybody who starts out with 2 skill points will always be at a massive advantage. Cough, cough, androids. He doesn't go for the switch. Okay, there it is. He could go for quick switches. I guess he just refuses to switch sometimes. If you counter a revenge counter, you will gain ki, and that could push you into further ki advantage, so that's good. But you also have to look at the person's skill points. You can see I had 4 skill points and he only had 2. So I could have used another, I just used another revenge counter and stopped the knockback chain. And revenge countering, it's not safe, but sometimes there is enough space to do a perception. And since the opponent knows it's not safe, he might come out mashing his buttons. But if you could get that spacing and use a perception, then you could make a revenge counter pretty safe. Yeah, he's being a little too obvious with the low attacks. Or I could block him low pretty easily, and he's being too obvious with it. Remember, to deflect those charged ki blasts, you gotta stand still. You can't move around. I should really be Z countering those. He has massive ki advantage on me. That's one thing about Dragon Ball Super Vegeta, or I believe most Vegetas, is that he charges ki quick, and he's a very aggressive character. So he has ki advantage and could engage with you easily, and because he has explosive wave, could get out of engagements in the case of an emergency. So I think Vegeta, Dragon Ball Super Vegeta, is a quite underrated character. I think I said earlier that a spotlight on him will be coming soon. Which, I'm talking about Dragon Ball Super Vegeta quite a good amount. Despite this being a Garlic Jr. spotlight, but like I said earlier, Garlic Jr. is not really anything interesting for me. So yeah, in these gameplays, it's just like, whatever. There's not much to even say, honestly. Yeah, I think I said in the spotlight to not throw out a raw paralysis beam, and yeah, you could see exactly why right there. I just dash at him, I throw out a raw beam, and he just completely dodges it and punishes me. So yeah, that's an example of why you should set it up, and exactly why Garlic Jr. is so weak, because he has more so offensive skills, and you don't need more offensive tech in this game. You really don't. Instant Sparking is probably the best offensive tech because it gives you something you actually don't have. You don't need to stun your opponent for 3 seconds. You can just gut punch them. If it stuns them for like 5 to 6 seconds, then it might be worth it. Or if the paralysis beam comes out quickly, it might be worth it. But yeah, I don't know if the paralysis beam is really worth trying to set up, unless you could really gain a lot of ki out of it. But it's not that much ki if you set up a charge with it. This is the battle of the jacked men. Just seeing two muscular men brawl. Again, I should really be Z countering those, vanishing those, but I'm not, because I'm trash. I feel like it's much more difficult to vanish supers when you're in a hard knockdown state. So a lot of people use supers when they get a knockback, but I think the best time to use a super is when you put someone in a hard knockdown. Because it's so much easier to vanish supers when they knock you back, but I feel like it's very difficult to vanish supers when I'm in a hard knockdown state. So yeah, that's something for you guys to take note of. Does he finish my Garlic Jr. here? If he does, then oh. Yeah. This is the issue with not having any defensive options, right? As a skill. You see how I got destroyed there because I couldn't get a super counter off. I'm not vanishing. I'm being trash right now, and he's able to down my Garlic Jr. because I don't have that emergency skill in my back pocket, being like maybe Wild Sense, Explosive Wave, whatever. And I win the third match. GG's to this guy. He rematched me every time, so that's always fun. But yeah, Garlic Jr. is not the greatest. Did not enjoy playing him either, so I think that's the only game I played with Garlic Jr. Anyway, if you learned something, like and subscribe. Have a good day, you guys.